Welcome to Rogers TV Community News Durham. My name is Kiana Alvarez. Our top story this week. It's an end of an era as GM cuts the third shift in Oshawa. As of January 30th, the Oshawa plant will be going back to a two-shift operation. GM Canada says, as announced in May 2025, Oshawa Assembly will return to two shifts of production beginning February 2nd, at which time approximately 500 employees will be placed on layoff. GM and Unifor have worked closely to support employees through this transition with comprehensive separation packages, retirement support, and other benefits. We recognize and thank employees impacted for their contributions to the company. Preparations continue at Oshawa Assembly to build the next generation of gas-powered, full-size pickups, supported by a $280 million investment that reinforces Oshawa's future in GM's key full-size truck program. Oshawa Mayor Dan Carter released a lengthy statement. It reads in part, "On behalf of the City of Oshawa, I want to express our heartfelt compassion and support for the GM employees and their families who are affected by this transition. We understand this is a difficult and challenging time. We will continue to work closely with GM, Unifor, and the provincial and federal governments to identify new businesses, partnerships, and investments to bring new advanced manufacturing opportunities and pathways to the great city of Oshawa." MPP Jennifer French says, in part, "This is the time to build in Canada, for Canada. While GM bends the knee to President Trump, we need our leaders to stand up for Canadian jobs with a strategy to protect our auto sector." GM continues to take Oshawa for granted. If they're planning to sell GM cars here, they need to build them here. Unifor and auto workers at GM and the feeder plants have been working to build a strong automotive future. Detroit shouldn't forget that. The town of Whitby will soon have a permanent place to honor courage, sacrifice, and service. It's the Fallen Firefighter Memorial. It's now official. GO Transit is going to Bowmanville, and the construction is underway. Durham Regional Police say they won't be participating in the gun buyback program. Time is running out for gun owners hoping to receive compensation for surrendering their weapons to the federal government. In May 2020, Ottawa outlawed about 2,500 types of guns, including the AR-15. Owners of those types of firearms will have until the deadline to declare a weapon, which is on March 31st, 2026. Also, some police forces around the country have decided not to participate, including Durham Regional Police. This is the statement from Durham Regional Police Chief Peter Moreira. The Durham Regional Police Service and the Durham Regional Police Service Board have reviewed the federal assault-style firearms compensation program and have decided not to participate at this time. Significant gaps remain within the program, including insufficient operational clarity and resources to support safe and effective implementation. Violent crime involving illicit firearms continues to be a major concern in Durham Region and across Canada. With limited resources and increased public safety demands, DRPS must focus on initiatives that have the greatest impact on community safety, reducing violent crime, targeting repeat offenders, and removing illegal firearms from our street. Public safety remains our top priority. We acknowledge the federal government's commitment to addressing gun violence and will continue working with them, the province of Ontario, and our community partners to advance efforts aimed at combating illicit firearms. The Durham Regional Police Service Board announced that John Ecker has been appointed to the board by the Lieutenant Governor of Ontario for a 2-year term. John Ecker says, "I welcome the honor to serve the community as a member of the Police Service Board. I look forward to supporting the board's responsibility to ensure that policing in our community earns the trust and confidence of the citizens of Durham Region." Sean Collier, the chair of the Durham Regional Police Service Board, says, "Mr. Ecker has strong connections to our community and extensive leadership and governance experience that will enable him to make impactful contribution to the board's deliberations and decisions. His presence will assist the board in achieving its objectives for a safe community." Scheduled road construction in Oshawa has been delayed. Durham Region is adding safety improvements to the corner of Harmony Road South and Tennyson Avenue. Originally, the road work, which was supposed to start this week, will now begin in the summer. The region said the construction will affect left turns from northbound Harmony Road onto Tennyson, and the eastbound left turn from Tennyson onto Harmony Road. Construction will take place from Monday to Friday from 6 to 9 a.m. and 3 to 7 p.m. And we'll be back with more on what's making news in Durham Region after the break. Welcome back. Let's take a look at this week's Crime Stoppers of the Week. Durham Regional Police Services Youth in Policing Initiative has recently hosted its 2026 Impact Youth Forum. Every year, the Impact Youth Forum empowers young people to create lasting, positive changes within their communities through hands-on skill-building workshops that encourage leadership, creativity, collaboration, and action rooted in the impact principles. The principles are to inspire, motivate, persevere, act, create, and transcend. This year, the forum welcomed over 200 attendees, including youth aged 14 to 24 from across Durham Region. The DRPS Youth in Policing program says it's now accepting applications for its 2026 summer initiative. You can check out their website at drps.ca/YIP or email them at youthinpolicing@drps.ca. The DRPS has seen an increase in residential break-ins, and while there's no guaranteed way to stop a break-in completely, there are practical steps we can all take to reduce the risk and make our homes far less appealing to criminals. During a recent incident, a suspect fled from officers in extreme cold wearing clothing that put him at a serious risk of exposure. With freezing temperatures, time was critical. If you felt like the earth moved beneath you, you weren't alone. Thousands of residents in southern and central Ontario reported that they were shaken by an earthquake late on January 27th around 11 p.m., according to Natural Resources Canada. Earthquakes Canada recorded a magnitude 3.7 quake near Orillia that was felt as far away as Kitchener, Peterborough, Durham Region, and several smaller communities to the east and south of the epicenter. Those in Rochester, New York, have also reported feeling the tremors. Durham Regional Police say they received no reports of damage. On January 24th, hundreds came out to pay respect to David Brench, the former OHL commissioner. And we'll be back with more on what's making news in Durham Region after the break. The Oshawa Sports Hall of Fame has announced its class of 2026. Going into the Oshawa Sports Hall of Fame will be Rob Francis, Kim Hogmans-Hawk, Rob Grape, Bob Solomon, and the 1986 to 1987 Oshawa Generals. Selected in the first round of the 1980 CFL draft by the Edmonton Eskimos, Ross Francis played professionally for Edmonton, the Hamilton Tiger Cats, and the Ottawa Rough Riders between 1981 and 1986. He was a Grey Cup finalist with Hamilton and a recipient of a CFL award as part of the Most Outstanding Offensive Line in 1983. Kim Hogmans-Hawk attended O'Neill CVI and began in gymnastics, competing at nationals in 1977. She soon transitioned to multidiscipline sports, representing Canada in the tetrathlon from 1981 to 1983, where she achieved a world ranking of second, and the modern pentathlon from 1983 to 1985. Her elite versatility continued into the 1990s in triathlon, where she was ranked as high as 5th in the world. Between 2002 and 2014, Rob Grape led the Trojans to an incredible 42 LOSSA championships in cross-country and track and field, as well as 6 OFSA cross-country titles and 14 OFSA team medals. His guidance helped 17 of his student athletes earn NCAA scholarships. He also received the OFSA Convener Award for cross-country in 2022. Bob Solomon was the backbone of the legendary Oshawa Tonies fastball team, serving as their catcher from 1968 to 1978. His tenure behind the plate was highlighted by a spectacular 1974 season, where the team captured the OASA Provincial Championship and the Canadian Fastball Championship in British Columbia. During that national tournament, Bob set a Canadian record with 63 putouts, a feat that earned him a mention in the 1979 edition of the Guinness Book of World Records. The 1986 to 1987 Oshawa Generals squad remains one of the most talented in franchise history, dominating the regular season with a 49-14-3 record to capture the OHL Leyden Division title. Led by General Manager Sherry Basin and Head Coach Paul Theriault, the Generals swept the round-robin portion of the Memorial Cup at the Oshawa Civic Auditorium, but fell just short in the final, losing to the Medicine Hat Tigers. The depth of talent on this roster was impressive, with 21 of the 22 players on the regular roster going on to play professional hockey, and 12 of those reaching the National Hockey League. The 2026 class will be inducted on June 3rd at the Tribute Community Center. And let's send it over to Eric and take a look at what's new at the box office this week. Thanks, Eric. And that's all we have time for this week. We'll see you right here next week on Rogers TV Durham.